Hello, and welcome to the Live Past Crazy Show. Your host is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with her? Yanmitra appreciates you taking the time out to listen to the podcast, and it is her sincere hope that what we share is something that you can use to help you and someone you know live past crazy.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. So I realized that I am a whole hour late, but that's okay. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So a better place to be than here with me. And I thought I was getting up on time until I realized that you guys are an hour behind, not me an hour ahead. So I'm thinking I'm good, but I'm late. But that's okay. Good morning. Hope you're ready to get this day started. Hope you had an amazing day yesterday. Hope you had a good night. I hope you guys were safe. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. If they do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel, of course, in the podcast. So podcast is anywhere podcasts are found on Apple, Android, Stitcher, your iPad. It is the Live Past Crazy Show. And if they don't do any electronic or social media, we have 5 books. I say me, I have 5 books. Most are found on Amazon. 3 are found on Amazon. 2 you have to pre-order with me. So if you send me a message, I can get it out to you. All right, guys. I'm going to make this quick. I learned something the other day, and I'm just now, I didn't realize, something happened, you don't realize that you learned something from it. But I learned something from this. And I was finally able to articulate it yesterday. So let's get right in. I have 2 quotes of the day. Be willing to be a beginner every single day, every single morning. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. That's by Mr. Eckhart. The second one is when things change inside you, things change around you. When things change inside you, things change around you. I love that quote because when that is so true, when things change inside of you, like some of the things that you've been working on, you've been consistent with, once you begin to stick with it and stay consistent with it, then you can see the change of everything else around you. Otherwise, you cannot. And I think that's the frustrating part because you think you're changing, but if you're not consistent with what you're doing, then the change doesn't stick. And so when things change inside of you, things change around you. I'm not sure whose quote that is, but I really, really like it. So be willing to be a beginner every single morning. And then the second quote, when things change inside of you, things change around you. Okay? Those are the quotes of the day. And y'all, please make sure you share the show. And if you share it, please tag me so that I can tell you thank you for sharing the show. There's somebody smoking up underneath me and it's taking my complete breath. So please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. All right, so let's get right into I said 3, but I said 5, but I meant 3. The 3 things that I learned when boxing. So boxing class is interesting, and it is a lot of fun. It takes concentration, and it takes you being totally present with what you're doing. So here's some things that I've learned, and then we'll talk about them. 1, I learned that practice is good. Number 2, I learned that action is good. And number 3, I learned that follow through is better. I learned practice is good, action is good, but follow through is better. So, one, practice is good. It is easy. This is what I found, y'all. And when you think about it, you can really apply this to life. You can be confident standing still and hitting an object that doesn't move. I am confident when I am standing in front of that bag and I'm giving it all the blows I can get, and I'm doing the combinations that the coach is calling out, and I can, slip, and I can, do the hooks. I am very confident when I'm standing in front of that bag and that bag is not moving. My confidence is amazing. So think about that in life. You can be confident standing still and hitting an object that doesn't move, meaning you could be confident standing where you are and never moving. You could be confident in the idea that I don't need to grow, I don't have to grow, because this is where I'm going to stay the rest of my life. But when life happens, you lose your confidence because everything around you is stable, right? Or when you when things come into, it's hard to explain, like when things come into your life and you're not prepared for them, and or you're not sure how to move with it, then all the confidence that you had could be completely lost. So I'm extremely confident when I'm standing still punching that bag. I'm extremely confident. Like, I can throw all the blows, I can move the right way, I can slip, I can do all the things, and everything moves perfectly when I'm standing still and hitting an object that doesn't move. The second thing I learned, action is good, is when you start moving, that's when you begin to question your confidence and what you learned and what you practice. It's when you start moving in the thing that you said you wanted, that you begin to question your confidence and what you learn and what you practice. Because now, if you are inside the ring and if you're practicing with an actual person that is moving, right? Um, Now you've got to take everything that you practice and put it into action, right? You've got to actually know what you're doing, because now you're not just standing still thinking about a thing. Now you are moving and putting into action the things that you said you wanted, the thought process that you said you wanted to hold on to, the changes you want to see in your life. Now you are moving in that. And so this is where you can begin to question your confidence and the things that you learn. Like, is this really going to work out for me? Am I really going to do this? Is this really the way that I'm supposed to do it? Am I really supposed to do it this way? What if I move this way? And you can begin to question your confidence every step of the way. Number three, follow through is better. And this is the third thing. But when it all comes together and you land it, when you hit the person or the object just right, that's when all the hard work pays off. So if I've been practicing, right, hitting a object that does not move, and I have all the confidence in the world, and then two, when the object starts to move and I question my confidence, right, whether I'm doing it the right way, and if I'm doing it, but I'm putting into action all the things that I've practiced and all the things that I've learned, it is when I finally hit the right spot. Like when you box and you finally hit somebody on the chin, or you hit the hook that you wanted to hit, and you know that it was a good hit, or you know that you made the right move. That's when pieces begin to fall together. And that's when you understand now that your hard work is paying off. And you can apply that to any part of your life. Because after I had that thought last night, and then when I thought about it, you can apply that to every part of your life. From practice is good, action is good, but follow through is better. Like, and it goes with the quote: when things change inside of you, things change around you. So when I'm at boxing practice, I am practicing in that, and that's okay. But I'm absolutely hitting an object that does not move. So my confidence is on 10,000 because I'm not hitting something that's moving. It is standing still, and it is allowing me to hit it, right? That punching bag is standing still. So my confidence in standing still and hitting an object that doesn't move, I'm extremely confident. But when it starts to move, that's when I begin to question my confidence in what I've learned and what I practice. And in life, once you start something new, do you not begin to question what you learned and what you like? When you graduate from college, you have learned some things, and now when you get a job, you're actually putting it into action. or when you say you want to have children and you have a child and you're actually putting it into action, and you start to question, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Because now the object is moving and you're no longer standing still, right? So, but when it all comes together, when it all of your training, all of your practice, all of your movement, all of it comes together and you hit the object, or in boxing it, if you throw the hoop the right way, or if you land it where you thought you wanted it to land, that's when you can notice all your hard work is paying off. And I think that that's just so true of life, that you can practice a thing, you can put it into action, but it's not until you get everything lined up that you can begin to see things pay off. And another thing that I learned, we'll put this on as number 4, is that if you do not, and it's actually number 1 in reverse, if you do not practice, right, and 2, if you do not do the action. So if you're not doing 1 and 2 continuously, you're never going to see 3. If you're not practicing and taking action continuously, you're never going to see the follow through. You're never going to see the end result of what you're working for. You're never going to see that. So if you're stopping and starting, so if I start boxing today and I stop a month from now, I'm not going to be able to see the end result that I'm looking for. It is practice and action that is continuous that's going to give you the follow through that you want. So the things I learned from boxing are: practice is good, action is good, follow through is even better. Number 4 actually is 1 and 2 combined. That in order for me to continuously see this thing, I've got to continuously practice. I've got to continuously have action for there to be an end result. And I think that can frustrate some of us. Like, we can get really upset about life because we haven't, you feel like things have not progressed the way they should, or you're not further along where you need to be, just because maybe you stopped and started so much that you frustrated yourself. Practice is good, action is good, follow through is better. And number 4, for it to be continuous, you got to stay in 1 and 2. You got to continue to practice. You got to continue to stay in action so that the follow through is there. And you can be confident standing still, hitting an object that does not move. In boxing class, I'm absolutely confident when I'm standing in front of that punching bag hitting it, because it does not move. 2, when the object starts to move, that's when I question my confidence. When I get in the ring, that's when I begin to question, can I really do this? But that is my opportunity to put into use what I've just practiced and what I've learned. And if it's your first time, like if this is your first time on your journey, like all of us, we all question our confidence in things and how we do things. But if you are consistent with it, if you're consistent with your action, in 3, when it all comes together, then you're going to see when your hard work pays off. That's when you're going to see that. So when I'm in that ring and I'm not confident about what I'm getting ready to do, the only way I'm going to get confident at that is if I continue to go inside the ring, if I continue to take that action, if I continue to move. Because as long as I stay in number 1, hitting an object that doesn't move, I am never getting to 2 and 3, which is applying what I learned and seeing the follow through. I like that. That's a good analogy. When things change inside of you, things change around you. That's the quote of the day. The second one is, be willing to be a beginner every single morning. And I learned a lot during boxing class. That's all right. And I can apply that throughout my life, about every day. I can think of thought about, I would really be good at this. But if I don't practice it, if I don't take action on it, if I don't follow through with it, I'm going to stay where I am. And maybe I've been talking about a thing, right? Or I've been working hard and it has come to the point where I need to take action. So 1, practice is good. 2, action is good. But 3, follow through is better. You can be confident, standing still, hitting an object that does not move. Period. I'm very confident standing there doing practice and hitting that bag. I'm very confident working behind the scenes, doing what I need to do. But 2, when action is good, when you start moving in the thing that you said that you've been practicing on, that's when you begin to question your confidence, right? When I'm inside the ring and I'm actually having to do what the coach told me to do with a moving object, that's when I'm questioning my confidence in a thing. But the only way for me to build my confidence is to continue to act on it. Action is good, and you got to continue acting on it for number 3 to happen, which is the follow through. The follow through is better. And in the follow through, that's when everything has come together. Everything that I've worked on, and I can see what I've worked on paying out. I can see that I have been in a ring. I've been punching that bag that does not move. I can see where I've been inside the ring with the coach, hitting a moving object. And even though I've questioned myself every step of the way, I am still in the action phase. I'm still working. I'm still doing. I'm still in the movement. And then when I hit the right, when I throw that right hook or the left hook, or if I do a body shot, whatever it is that he tells me to do, when I do that and it all lands together and everything it starts to move in the right way, then I can see the hard work paying off. Good morning, Miss Lowry. Then I can see the hard work paying off. Then I can see, okay, JoJo, practice is good. Action is good, but your follow through is even better. So we can practice, but if we do not put into action the things that we're practicing, we will never have the confidence to do it. You will never have the confidence to do it. I wanted to wear a 2-piece bathing suit forever. Had the thought, but I never did it. Follow through is even better. I had the idea of wanting to own a business. I worked behind the scenes. The action of it was to tell somebody. The follow through was to work on it. You may want to release weight. That's your thought. But until you start practicing, until you get inside the ring, so you do the action of it. And y'all, when we start on this journey, wherever it may be, your action, you're not always going to be confident in it. That's what I learned. When I started to move inside the thing that I wanted, when I started to move inside that boxing ring, I questioned my confidence. JoJo, like, why are you even in here? Why are you taking boxing classes? You know you can't fight. You know you can't do this. And at that moment, if y'all never heard me say this, you're fighting the old you with the new you. And in that moment, I'm not fighting the opponent in the ring. I'm fighting myself, who is telling me I cannot do something. And it is only the action of the thing that is going to make me better. It is only action of that's going to allow the follow through. So when I'm in the ring and I'm questioning, JoJo, why in the world are you doing this? There's other forms of exercise. Why are you choosing boxing? And I am not confident in my next step. I'm not confident in what I'm going to say. I'm not confident in what I'm going to do. What I know is that I've got to continue in the action phase, because if I never throw a shot, I'm going to get hit. If I never move, I'm going to get hit. If I never do an action, there was never a reason for me to begin to participate. What am I practicing for if I'm not going to put anything in action? So the things I learned in boxing, practice is good, action is good, follow through is even better. So when I'm in that ring and I'm questioning myself, it is when I continuously throw that punch, or I'm continuously moving, or I'm continuously working on the thing. And apply this to your life. You're continuously working on it. And it doesn't mean I didn't get hit in the mouth. It doesn't mean that. It means that I'm going to continue to practice. I'm going to continue to action. And when that follow through, when I hit it just right, when I do the work, it's going to pay off. And then that's when I'm going to see all the practice that I've done, all the action that I've done come to fruition. It's going to come if you continue on that journey. You can I can be confident standing still, hitting an object that does not move. I'm extremely confident standing still, hitting that punching bag that doesn't move. I can hit every shot. Then we can hit every shot when we're not willing to move, when we're not willing to try something. We make 100% of every shot we throw, because you're hitting something that does not move. And you're confident in you standing still. But when you start to move, when you start in the action phase of it, that's when you begin to question yourself. That's when you begin to question your confidence. And that's when you put into practice the things that you learned and the things that you practice. But when it all comes together and you can see your hard work paying off. Amen. Yeah. Listen, Miss Lowry. Yes, ma'am. It is when we stay in, because the fourth thing that I learned is that if I stay in the practice and I stay in the action phase, the follow through has no other option but to happen. No other option. but to see it pay off. But you got to stay in the practice and you got to stay in the action phase. And like Mr. R said, you got to stay on top of it. And it is on the staying on top of that is your practice and that is your action. That is your practice and that is your action. I will tell you, I'm 16 years in this journey. On day one, I'm not where I am on whatever day, 16 years later. I'm not where I was last year. I'm not where I was 15 years ago. It has been practice is good, action is good, but follow through is better. Practice is good, action is good, but follow through is better. I practice, but now I got to put it in action. And now I'm going to see my hard work paying off. And I'm in that, Ms. Ari, you can probably agree, we're in that phase now where we've done the work that nobody saw. When things change inside of you, things change around you. You've done the work. You've done the work of what nobody looking. You were practicing. You were working on your business. You were working on yourself. If you're like me, you were working on your finances, and you were working, and nobody saw you. But they saw you in the ring, and they may have said, I saw JoJo get hit. Did you not see me get back up? And I'm going to continue to practice because practice is good, action is good, but follow through is so much better. It's so much better. It is the best thing because now you are seeing your hard work pay off. Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Howard, this is the thing. You have to understand that you are worth the investment of you. I will be completely honest with you. You will never lose weight. And I'm not talking to Mr. Howard. I'm talking to whoever listening. You will never lose weight. You will never have financial freedom. You will never understand your journey in life. Nothing will ever be right for you. You will never find the love of your life. You will never have the career you want. You will not have those things if you assume that you're not worth it, if you do not start investing in yourself. And investing in yourself doesn't have to look monetarily. Investing in yourself looks like you taking the time to have that quiet time to yourself. Like if you watched the show yesterday, this is day 8 of no phone, and the things that I've learned about unplugging. And yeah, Mr. I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to you, but not that part. And the 8 things that I've learned about unplugging, and the time that I realized that I had, and the things that I realized that I could accomplish, and the focus that I had. But you've got to be willing to invest in you. And if at any point you assume, okay, that you're not worth the investment, and you can say, oh, I'm worth it, but are you doing the work of it that you say you're worth it? I want to be healthy, but are you doing the work of it? Are you investing in yourself? You say you want to be financially stable, but are you investing in yourself to make that so? Practice is good, action is good, follow through is better. I learned some things, and this is I took back some boxing class for a whole year. Come on, Jesus, let me bring this home for y'all. 2 years ago, I was boxing 5 days a week. No, 6 days a week. I was boxing 6 days a week. I took 2 years off. I took 2 years off from boxing. I started back last month. Now, there's some things that my body remembers in the action, in the practice part. But in that action part, y'all, when I got in that ring last week, I questioned everything that I ever learned because I started 2 years ago, but I stopped. I was not consistent. So that the practice had to start all over again. I started last month. My body hurt from my fingernails to my toenails. Everything hurt in between because I wasn't consistent. I didn't follow through. I stopped, and here I am 2 years later, starting over. And then when I got in that ring, y'all, and you start to do the thing that you say you wanted, and you start to question your confidence, that's when you can't give up. That's when you're fighting the old you with the new you to say, JoJo. Because the old you was saying, what is you doing? And the new you was saying, boo, we seen this all the way through, regardless. Yes, ma'am. I paid for it in the beginning. And I think that's true for everyone on that journey. If you're just starting something, that's when you can't quit. That's when you got to practice harder. That's when you got to stay in that action phase. You got to stay in 1 and 2. Practice is good as action is good. And that's when you're working behind the scenes. So when I stepped in that ring last week, I got hit in the mouth and I got hit in the head because I stopped and started. And here I was starting new again. And I'm fighting the old me with the new me along with the opponent. You can call it life, you can call it whatever, but I'm fighting all of that and my self-talk at the same time. So that's why you question your confidence, because you haven't put it into action. And action is the only thing that's going to build your confidence. Me standing in the ring saying I can't hit you ain't going to help me. I've got to actually go after my opponent. I actually have to shoot a shot. If I miss, I cannot cry. That means I've got to do it again. I have to stay in action phase. I've got to continue moving. Practice is good. Action is good. But your follow through is even better. Because when it all comes together, and it begins to pay off, when it begins to pay off, that is when amazing things begin to happen. That's when you can see, oh, this is why I practiced that. This is what this action meant. Because all of that is your learning phase. Absolutely all of it. And I've gotten my whole life in a boxing ring. I know, hey, if you want to try boxing, knock yourself out. It's an amazing sport. If you don't, please pick something. If you're applying this to your life, do not stop. It is the practice and it is the action that's going to make the follow through so much better. So on this, what is today? Tuesday? Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? On this wonderful Wednesday, I want you to have an amazing day. I want you to go back to the quotes of the day. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. And when things change inside of you, things change around you. Those are your 2 quotes of the day. And the thought of the day is it's really 4 things that I learned from boxing. Practice is good. Action is good. Your follow through is even better. And number 4, somebody's smoking up under me. Number 4 is you've got to stay in 1 and 2 in order for 3 to happen. 3, your follow through, your final destination, you've seen the end result would never happen if you don't stay in 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are constant. They never change. Practice, action, practice, action. And if you don't like what you see in your action, you practice again. You don't like what you see in your, like the coach said, is that all you got? That's the only way you're gonna hit me. You got to think about that in life. Is that all you got? Is that all you gonna come with? Is that the only thing you gonna bring to the table? I ain't even gonna say it's your weakness. It is a strength that you have not understood yet. Is it a strength that you've not developed yet because you've been scared to take that action? You've been scared to practice that thing. And so when you get in the ring, they're gonna talk junk. Oh, that's all you got? So you gonna hit me like a girl? That's how you gonna throw that punch? And if you really think about that, and this is how you get scared in life about things. When you start working on things and people see you putting into action and they start talking to you along with your self-talk, because you're already talking to yourself. But here comes Panic Patty. Here comes Negative Nelly saying, oh, you gonna run that little business? Oh, you got that little nonprofit? Oh, you still doing that little morning show? Oh, you still doing a morning show? Oh, you gonna open up a bookstore? And it's when they say those things that you got to say, all right, let me show you what I got. What you gonna do when life hits you in the mouth? When it says, oh, that's all you got? Oh, so here comes your opposition. Now what are you gonna do? And it's not a weakness. I'm telling you, it's a strength that you've not developed yet. It is a strength that you have not yet developed that you need to practice on and put into action. Hey, to the men, come on, Miss Lowry. And that's all you got, because all you got is your word. My daddy, that's my grandpa said. So my daddy said, all you got is your word. So you got to put that thing into action. You got to get in the ring, and you got to, when it hits you, when you get hit in the mouth, or it knocks you down, or you miss, or your punch doesn't land, or things don't work out the way you assumed and the way you wanted them to, what are you going to do with that moment? In boxing, the bell dings, you get to go back to your corner and take a little break. Practice, action. Practice is action. Amen. That's right. There's a lot of life lessons in boxing now that I think about it. Because the thing is, you keep going. You may take a break and you may gather yourself, but you come back out swinging again. You come back out. You're always protecting this, right? You come back out and you're throwing that shot anyway. That is your practice and your action. And your follow through has no other option but to happen. We can be confident standing still. I learned that the hard way. It's okay to be confident hitting something that doesn't move. You're confident saying you're going to do something and never doing it. You're very confident in that. Oh, I'm going to do this and you don't do it. You're confident in that part. But when you start moving, that's when you start to question yourself. When you start in the moving phase, which brings to the quote, when things change inside of you, things change around you. But when it all comes together, you can see things pay off. It is amazing. So I hope this has helped somebody today, guys. If it has, please make sure you share the show, or please let me know so I know that I'm not talking to myself. I want you to have an amazing, amazing day. Come on, Miss Lowry. You are your own investment in it. If at any time they tell you on boxing, at any time you drop these, you leave yourself open to whatever comes your way. You can please apply that to life. When you drop these, you leave all of this open to get hit in the mouth. That's why you practice and you stay in action. And you got to realize that you are the investment for yourself. And if you're not willing to take that investment for yourself, you will always be confident standing still, hitting an object that does not move. Always. Period. So you are absolutely worth the investment. You are worth all the things, I promise. When you stay in action, in the practice phase, the follow through is better. It is amazing. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I want you to be peaceful, period. I forget I'm backwards on this, so I'm looking at it different. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. My name is Jan Mitra JoJo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Please make sure you join me Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be at home Sunday, but we'll see. Sunday for the bookstore at 2 p.m. bit.ly/read fearlessly. Don't forget about the Sister Rise Retreat, October the 16th through the 18th, bit.ly/Sister Rise. And make sure you sign up for over there. And make sure you bring a girlfriend with you. There are payment plan options. If you need one, please let me know, because I'm going to be setting that up soon and very soon. So the 4 things that I learned in boxing: practice is good, action is good, follow through is better, and the 4th one is you got to stay in the 1 and 2, practice and action, and you can be confident standing still, hitting an object that does not move. And when you start, that's when you begin to question your confidence and everything that you've learned and practiced. But when it all comes together, understand that the payoff is going to be moving. And you sure will, because that brick wall ain't going nail place. And my grandpa say nail place. It ain't moving. You are. And so sometimes the things that we are seeking, when things change inside of you, things are changing, things change around you. The change that you are seeking has got to happen inside of you first. Then all other things will move accordingly. I promise. That I can promise. So I hope you have an amazing day. I want you to be peaceful, period. Please share the show. And if you do, please tag me so that I know that you shared it and I can tell you thank you. And if this has helped you at all, I'm looking for testimonials to put on my from my website. If there's been any time that you've learned anything from the Fearless Morning Show, please send it to me in a message so that I can share it on my website if you do not mind. I will greatly, greatly appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm getting ready to go hit the beach and stay out there all day today. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm trying to be on time. I forget about the time difference. So you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.
Thank you again for listening to the Live Past Crazy Show with Jan Mitra JoJo. She is the only Live Past Crazy specialist, and she is glad you spent your time with her. If you would like to know more about why she knows crazy and about her journey, she invites you to check out her website, www.livepastcrazy.com, as well as follow her on social media. Jan Mitra is her tag for IG, Twitter, and Facebook. JANMETRA. She also invites you to join her on the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. on Facebook Live. Again, you can find us on Facebook with the Fearless Morning Show page or by name. Remember, as a result of working with the only Live Past Crazy specialists, individuals are able to identify the crazy in their lives and develop a specific blueprint to begin to live past crazy. Do you know anybody who needs to live past crazy? Then send them over her way, because there is life after crazy. Be peaceful, period. And Jan Mitra will see you guys on the next show.